Good evening, everyone, to the people in India, and good morning to those people in America. So, today's topic is 7 myths that you must never believe about COVID. As you know, right now in the society, there are so many myths about COVID. And apohalu, we call it in Telugu, right? And people believe in that. And they're getting confused what to do, what not to do, chaos because of that confusion. So I want to break those myths so that you get clarity what is important and what is not important when it comes to COVID. What information should you believe in, and the information that you should never entertain, you should never believe in. Okay. Number one, a lot of people think that COVID means death. A lot of people think. So, a lot of people think that COVID means death. And I can't blame people thinking that because every day in the morning when you wake up and when you turn on TV and all day, that is what all you hear, the negative news about COVID. How many people are dying, how terrible it is. And you can't help yourself but absorb all that information when you watch TV. And you can't help but absorb all that information. And that makes you feel like COVID is equivalent to death. But that is not true. Yes, are there people dying because of coronavirus infection? Yes, there are, unfortunately. But does every single person who gets COVID dies? No, that is far from the truth. If you actually look at the statistics, 80 to 85% people who get COVID, they just have mild symptoms or no symptoms at all. That's it. In a week or two, all their symptoms are gone, even without any treatment, and they just do fine. However, maybe 10 to 15% people, they get moderate disease, means they get more fevers, maybe some shortness of breath, difficulty breathing. Their oxygen levels might drop slightly to around 95, 94%, right? And it remains above 90%. And these people also recover with simple treatment at home. All right. Steroids help them and they just improve. And then it's done. In 2 to 3 weeks, they're all fine and it's over for them. Now, there is a small subset of population, like around 5%, who got infected with coronavirus. They progress to have a more severe illness. Okay. They have a lot of difficulty breathing. They need to get admitted in the hospital. They need lots of oxygen. And even among those 5% people, a lot of them recover with proper treatment. Okay. Now, maybe there is 2% people approximately who would get critically ill, means their disease progresses to the point where they may have to get into intensive care unit, ICU. And then they may have to be put on a ventilator to breathe. And for these people, it's not easy. Okay. It's not easy. Not everyone makes it at the end of the day. In those 2% people who got really sick, who are in ICU, that's a challenge. But if you look at a vast majority of people who are infected with coronavirus, almost 98% recover and they just do fine. Yeah, they may go through some trouble, but they recover and do fine. But what is really paralyzing people is the fear. It is a fear about coronavirus. That is what is paralyzing people. That is what is making them feel terrible and go through such difficult time. Okay. So, coronavirus doesn't mean death. That is far from the truth. Yes, is this virus a bad virus and can cause us problems? Yes. But the vast majority, 98%, recover from the virus. And these days, we have vaccine too. If you take vaccine, the chances for you to get the virus is far less. It cuts down the chances for you to get infected with COVID if you take a vaccine. And it brings that risk down by almost 90% if you have already taken the 2 doses of vaccine. Okay. And when you take vaccine, even if you get infected, the symptoms are only going to be mild. It is proven with almost all vaccines that we have available. Okay. All right, good. Now, the second myth that you want to break is remdesivir saves your life. People think that remdesivir is a life saving drug. That is absolutely not true. Not true. We all got excited initially when remdesivir was available, and we thought that is going to cure COVID. But unfortunately, the research showed it has only very tiny effect on you when you take remdesivir. Okay, so do not spend hundreds of thousands buying remdesivir in black market. Do not do that. Okay, because you're unnecessarily wasting your money, energy, resources to buy something that is not useful. Okay, it is not going to save your life or your family member's life. Yeah, if you can get it at the hospital when you go in, if you can use it, that's okay. But don't sell your home to buy remdesivir. Okay. Now, the third myth that you want to break is a lot of people believe in donating plasma is going to save someone's life. It's like a miracle treatment. And unfortunately, again, that is not true. At the beginning of this pandemic, we all hoped that a convalescent plasma is going to be our solution to take care of COVID infected people. Okay. Let me explain the logic. So, what is convalescent plasma? So, when someone gets infected with coronavirus and after they recover, blood, you check their plasma. Okay. You check their serum. When you check it, it has antibodies because they have recovered from COVID. And the thought process is you take these antibodies from their plasma and then you give to someone else who is sick, and these antibodies are going to help them fight the virus. That's the logical thought process, and everyone got excited about it. But unfortunately, when we actually tried it and multiple research trials were done, it did not really make much of a difference. Okay. Does it help? Maybe a little bit, but it is not a life saving medication. Okay. So it is important that you don't waste your time and energy and money trying to get convalescent plasma or get worried, oh, I'm not getting this. What am I going to do now? That's all not needed. Yeah, if someone really finds it, if you want to take it, it's not really going to do any harm. That's okay. But don't waste your time after something that is not life saving. Okay. All right. If you want to donate blood, if you don't want to donate your plasma for helping other people, that's okay. That's okay. But know that it is not going to be the life saving treatment that everyone has talked about. Recently, there were articles out in India now getting support from the government and the World Health Organization that don't use convalescent plasma, don't go after it, right? Okay. Now, the fourth myth I want you to break is A lot of people believe that ivermectin, doxycycline are miracle drugs that are going to cure COVID. And there can be nothing far from the truth. Okay, neither of these medication, ivermectin or doxycycline, or even hydroxychloroquine, azithromycin, none of these medications are proven to help COVID patients in any way. People are simply using it out of panic and fear. They just want to give something, so they are getting those medications. Okay, so make sure you're not running after these medications. If you take one of those medications because it was prescribed and you use it for a few days, it is not going to really harm you. So if you are in doubt, should I take it or not? My doctor prescribed me, it is okay. But don't take all four of them at once. Okay? Don't take all four of them at once. It is like eating soup, rice, and then, ice cream, milk, yogurt, everything together. You don't do that when you eat food, right? Don't take all four of them at once, okay? And the more number of medications you're adding to the system, the greater the chances for you to get side effects. And you may feel upset in your stomach. So don't do that, all right? Now, there is another myth, the fifth myth that you want to understand is a lot of people believe that COVID vaccine is harmful, and that's the reason they are not taking the vaccine. So let me reassure you, based on the vast amount of data, it is clear that the vaccine is not harmful. Okay. The chances for someone to get side effect is rare. Rare. Like I'm talking about real bad side effects. Okay. Yes. Are there people who gotten a little rash? Yes. But does it happen every single day in everyone who takes it? No. Do people get a little bit of soreness in their arm or maybe a little bit of fevers, body aches? Yes. People do get it, quite a few people, but that is only showing that the vaccine is actually working on your body. Okay, your body is reacting to the vaccine, and so the antibodies are being created. So that means the vaccine is working. Now, all of a sudden, people ask me, "Oh, I did not have any symptoms. Is the vaccine still working?" Yes, it's still working. Okay, not everyone will have that soreness or body aches or fevers. All right, and remember, the vaccine is not harmful. If anyone tells you that the vaccine is harmful, tell them it's not. Okay, tell them it's a myth. All right, take vaccine. It saves lives. It saves lives. All right. Okay. Another important myth that we want to break today is about steam inhalation. I don't know how this got into our society, our system, that steam inhalation is somehow going to make the virus that is here go into your lungs and make it all of a sudden multiply a lot and then cause your lungs to get damaged. That is far from the truth. That is not true. Okay. If you feel like you need to do steam inhalation, that is totally fine. Don't worry about it. If you have COVID, if you don't have COVID, no matter what it is, you can use steam inhalation to your benefit. All right. Now, there is another myth that is circulating around, and that is like buttermilk is going to save you from COVID, and all of a sudden, COVID is going to die. That is not true. Okay. You still, let me put it this way, buttermilk, yogurt, they are good for our health. They may even boost our immune system to some extent. Okay. The same is true with many other supplements like vitamin C, zinc, what are the B complex, all these things help us. Vitamin D, all these things help us, and it is okay to take them. in moderate doses. All right. But they are not going to cure your COVID. Don't take, I have seen people taking tons and tons of these medications with very high doses, thinking that is going to cure COVID. It's not proven. Research doesn't support it. Okay. So I want you to break these 7 myths that I just discussed. So I'm going to quickly go over these myths. Number one, people think COVID means death. That is not true. Number two, they think that remdesivir saves lives. That is not true. It's helpful to some extent a little bit, but it's not a life-saving drug like steroids. Okay. Number three, people think that donating plasma, you're just going to, save the other person and cure them of COVID. That is not true. All right. I wish it is true, but it's not. Number four, doxycycline and ivermectin, people think are miracle drugs that is going to cure COVID. That is not true. That is not true. Number five, unfortunately, a lot of people still believe in that COVID vaccine is harmful or it does something bad to them. That is not true. It is absolutely not true. Take the vaccine. Okay. Take the vaccine. The benefit of taking the vaccine is much, 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 much higher than not taking it. Okay. Take the vaccine. Number six, steam inhalation makes COVID somehow go into your lungs. That is not true. That is not true. Okay. You can safely do steam inhalation. Number seven, buttermilk is not going to cure you from COVID. All right. Nor any of the other supplements or diets that you're taking. Those are all good, but it's not going to be curing COVID. Okay. Now, I'm going to stop here and I will take some questions from people, from the participants in this program.